Recently, I watched Americans rank high-tech modern snipers alongside men in loincloths throwing wooden spears, calling them all the most lethal units in history. What kind of chaotic metric is that? As a German, this lack of structural categorization hurts me more than an unorganized queue. Americans love turning warfare into a glorious Hollywood action movie. But in Germany, we do not believe in emotion. We believe in logistics, casualty rates, and absolute discipline. Today, we strip away the Hollywood frauds and autopsy the ultimate tactical machines. Let's open the files. Let us begin with the debate that is currently tearing the internet apart. Who is the absolute apex predator of modern warfare? The audience is violently divided, intensely clashing to defend either America's Delta Force or Britain's SAS. Let us look at this through a clinical, pragmatic lens. First, we look at Faction 1, the blueprint. The British SAS. American audiences need to swallow a very bitter historical pill right now. Without the SAS, there is no Delta Force. The SAS is the master blueprint for global special operations. As a German analyst, I hold the highest respect for the SAS because of their minimalist philosophy. They do not need a parade. They fight with cold-blooded survival skills, psychological endurance, and the ability to operate deep behind enemy lines without begging for a billion-dollar airstrike. The 1980 Iranian embassy siege was not just a rescue mission, it was a flawless masterpiece of risk management and extreme efficiency. Precise. No latency. Zero margin of error. But wait, before the European fans start celebrating, let us look at Faction 2, the corporate machine. America's Delta Force. People in the comments love to call Delta a cheap copy of the SAS. That is entirely accurate. But they are a copy operated by the most terrifying financial and logistical supply chain on the face of the planet. Delta does not just fight with a dagger and grit, they fight with a network of military satellites, dedicated helicopter squadrons, global intelligence, and a seemingly infinite taxpayer budget. So, who is actually more dangerous? A ghost who can patiently survive the harsh desert with nothing but a blade like the SAS, or a corporate machine equipped with technology that can systematically neutralize every threat in a building in 10 seconds like Delta? American audiences will always choose the infinite budget, while Europeans will choose raw, unadulterated skill. Who is right? Drop your outrage in the comments below. I want to see which algorithm wins this war. We move forward to the Hollywood frauds. The entertainment industry has completely brainwashed the public with romanticized myths about warfare, driving any logical historian insane. Exhibit A, the Viking Berserkers of Norway. Pop history tells us that these giants fought shirtless, consumed unregulated natural stimulants, went into a divine frenzy, and became immortal on the battlefield. This is clinical nonsense. From a medical perspective, if you overload your system with extreme neurostimulants during a critical engagement, you do not become Superman. Your heart palpitates, you completely lose spatial awareness, you deplete your adrenaline instantly, and you become nothing more than a tactical liability. Berserkers were simply violent, undisciplined fighters. In real military strategy, like the rigid formations of the Romans or the Greeks, breaking your line to run forward screaming is not bravery. It is a fatal strategic error for your entire army. Next, we examine the conclusion of the samurai myth. I know anime fans are going to hate me for this. The katana is a beautiful piece of metallurgical art, and the spirit of Bushido is arguably the greatest PR campaign in human history. But on an actual battlefield? They were highly expensive, arrogant aristocrats who blindly rejected technological evolution for the sake of vanity. And what was their conclusion? Romance does not stop cannonballs. During the Satsuma Rebellion, tens of thousands of proud samurai were completely neutralized, not by greater swordsmen, but by hastily trained peasant conscripts who simply knew how to pull the trigger on a musket and operate artillery. Case closed. Finally, we confront the ultimate masters of brutality. The phantoms that mainstream internet lists conveniently ignore. It is a disgrace that so many videos forget the actual war machines that reshaped the global map. Number 1. Napoleon's Old Guard. The internet completely forgot an army that holds an 85% documented win rate in history. From a German quality control perspective, this is the definition of operational perfection. You could not just apply to join the Old Guard. You had to be chosen. The metrics? Superior physical height, literacy, and most importantly, you had to survive at least 3 grueling campaigns. They were not just soldiers. They were a tool of extreme psychological warfare. Whenever the Old Guard began their march, the mental pressure was so severe that enemy lines would routinely collapse and run away before bayonets ever crossed. Number 2. The Winged Hussars of Poland. From my analytical viewpoint, their battlefield dominance was not magic or divine courage. It was exceptional mechanical engineering. Those iconic wings on their backs were not for decoration. They were purposefully designed to create a terrifying aerodynamic screech at high speeds, inducing mass panic in enemy cavalry horses. Physically, they also acted as a shield protecting the rider's back from perilous Tatar lassos. Combined with their kopia lances, engineered to be physically longer than any standard anti-cavalry pike, they delivered an unstoppable kinetic force. It was pure physics. And then the Winged Hussars arrived. Number 3. The Gurkhas of Nepal. The rejection rate for this unit is more brutal than getting into Harvard University. Their entrance exam? Sprinting up the steep inclines of the Himalayas with a heavy basket of rocks strapped directly to their head. The combination of genetic high-altitude oxygen adaptation and ruthless British military discipline created monsters who simply do not register the concept of fear. They are the ultimate proof that superior physiology combined with extreme conditioning can crush any enemy. To summarize, a military unit's lethality is never measured by the Hollywood action movies made about them, but by the ruthless logistics they mastered and the history they rewrote through sheer endurance. Now, I have a final risk management scenario for you. A locked room. No satellites, no air support, no tech. Inside, Russian Spetsnaz, Canadian JTF-2, and the British SAS. According to your survival algorithm, who walks out of that room victorious? Drop your autopsy in the comments below. I will read them all. Hit like if you respect the data, and I will see you next time.